Good morning, and welcome to Cappy King Live. During my 7 years of video broadcasting, I've amassed over 34 interviews. These interviews have included everyone from the musical talents of Matt Serpenetto of the class of '04, the sports opinions of Kevin Wolf of '05, and the political rantings of Doug Robbins of the class of '06. In all my years of interviewing, nothing has prepared me for the personality juggernaut of the class of 2007. The following is a collection of prominent interviews during our 2007 season. These interviews serve as a testament to a wonderful group of young adults who've changed the Craig Upper School forever, a testament to the staff of the Craig Upper School and what they had to endure for the last 4 years, and of course a testament to the parents and what they will have to endure for the rest of their lives. I give you the class of 2007 interviews. Our next guest is the Craig Upper School resident actor, Matrix buff, and infringed on a number of Schoolhouse Rock patents in a 5th grade talent show. Please welcome Bernardsville's own William Morton. William, welcome to Cappy King Live.
Hi, Cappy. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you, Will. Will, what can you tell me about your town?
I love Bernardsville. Bernardsville is a wonderful place. It's small, but it's home. I've lived there actually I moved out there from the city ever since I was 3, and I lived there ever since.
Wow, Bernardsville sounds like a beautiful place, Will. Will, let's talk about Craig School.
Oh, Craig has been a big part of my life. I've been coming here now from the lower school since 2nd grade, so now it's been over 10 years.
10 years at Craig. Wow, that's longer than some marriages. Will, what's the biggest difference between the middle and the high school?
The middle school, you get to know the people, you get to know the people, and when you come to the high school, if you choose to come to the high school, you can actually know the people that you've met much better.
Interesting.
As well as some new friends.
Interesting, Will, interesting. We have a caller on the line. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello, William. This is your report card.
William's report card. William's report card. What's your question?
William, what do you have against getting B's?
Absolutely nothing. An occasional B is very good most of the time.
Well, I think what your report card is saying is you get nothing but A's. How do you do it? What's your secret?
Get plenty of rest, know what you're doing with your homework, and best of all, do what you're good at.
Good answer. Caller, report card. Any other comments?
No, that will be all. William, I'll see you after final exams.
After final exams. Thank you, caller. Very good.
Uh-oh.
William, advice for the class of 2008.
Well, it all is about adrenaline, keeping your adrenaline pumping, and knowing what you can do, and doing what you do best.
It's all about adrenaline, Will. I couldn't agree with you more. Last thing, Will, look at the camera, and I want you to thank whoever you would like to thank.
I'd like to thank my parents for putting me where I am and not giving up on me. And I'd like to thank my Craig School family for just taking really good care of me for these past 10 years. And I hope to come back and see you guys soon.
William, it was a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much. Our next guest is an economist of words, but heavy on the charm. I'd like to introduce Craig Upper's resident techie, Kevin Shafford from Carlstadt. Kevin, welcome. We're off to a slow start already, Kev. Here we go. Can you tell me about Carlstadt?
It's a small town.
Yeah?
And it's close to Giant Stadium. Like a mile.
Like a mile away?
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's move on, Kevin. Let's talk about Craig School. What can you tell me about Craig School in your time here?
I liked it, and it's fun to be here.
What'd you like about it?
Stepping out.
Stepping out. Can you give me an example of a stepping out for my audience who might not know what a stepping out is?
Stepping out is when you go on the weekend or during the week after school to like a mall or something, or to see a movie.
Very nice. That sounds like fun. We have a caller on the line.
there, I will sue you for using that. That's copyright. Thank you, Mr. Shepard. Stop calling me while I'm at work. I'm really busy.
Wow, thank you, Mr. Ebert. I'm sorry, Mr. Shepard. I didn't see that one coming. Mr.
Yeah,
Ebert.
I'll watch it.
Is he still on the phone? Get off the phone, Mr. Ebert.
Bye, Mr. Cap. Have a nice day.
It's Cappy King. Thank you. Kevin, advice for the class of 2008.
Do your homework and listen to the teachers.
You know what? That might be the greatest advice I've ever heard. Finally, Kevin, I want you to look at that camera, and I want you to thank whoever you would like to thank.
My parents and
Mr. Ebert.
Mr. Shepard, thank you for this interview. Our next guest lives life in the fast lane, the fast bowling lane. I'd like to welcome Washington Township's own Lou Benequista. Lou, how you doing?
Fine.
Lou, tell me about your town.
Has a lot of nice neighborhoods. I live close to a movie theater, and
Well, that sounds nice, Lou. I would think about moving there. Very nice. Can you tell me a little bit about the Craig School?
my brothers live close to their school.
Very nice. But what about Craig School?
I learned a lot
You
here.
learned a lot? Can you tell me what the biggest difference between the middle school and the high school is?
Well, for the Craig Lower School, the gym was right across from it, and in the Craig Upper School, you got to walk. It's blocks away from school.
Good point.
PAL.
PAL. Any other differences between middle and high school?
Less students here.
Less students, of course. We have a caller on the line. Let me take this call for Lou. Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Caller, identify yourself.
This is Lou's bowling ball.
Lou's bowling ball. You have something to say to Lou?
Yeah, hi Lou. This was so much fun. I had a lot of fun with you. All the strikes you made with me, I'm still spinning.
You have a question for Lou.
Yeah, do you plan to continue bowling with me when you go to college?
Lou, do you plan to continue bowling in college?
Probably.
Probably. Does that make you happy, bowling ball?
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you for the call, bowling ball. Let me hang up on this guy. Lou, what advice do you have for the class of 2008?
Be in college.
But how are you going to tell them to get to college? What advice do they need to know to get to college?
If you have your own car and you know how to drive there, that'll be fine.
Having your own car. That is important. Lou, I want you to look at the camera, and I want you to thank whoever you would like to thank.
I'd like to thank my parents and my family members for bringing me here, making sure I get a good education before I go to college. Make sure I learn fine and no other problems.
Anyone else you'd like to thank, Lou?
I'd like to thank my whoever I had here for instructing me, making me learn some important information. I'd like to thank Mrs. G for learning good stuff in business.
Okay.
And
Does that sound good, Lou?
oh no.
Good enough for me. Lou, it was a pleasure interviewing you. Thank you very much.
I don't want to be.
The spelling of our next guest's name has confounded teachers for years. His last name actually has 2 capital letters. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Matt DiChiera from Roseland. Matt, welcome.
Hi guys.
Matt, let's start off by talking about Roseland. Tell me about this town of Roseland.
It's a small little town that borders Livingston and Caldwell, and it actually has no roses in it at all except for the stupid ones they just put on the street signs.
Wow.
That's about it.
It sounds like a land of make-believe.
Oh yeah.
Why would I move to Roseland?
I don't know, because you want to be near imaginary roses.
Let's talk about the Craig School. What can you tell me about Craig?
It's a small school, one hallway, and all the kids here know each other, and it's in Lincoln Park. And
What do you love about Craig? What is it that works
we
for
have
you?
some pretty interesting field trips that I like, such as like the stepping outs and the like senior privileges and stuff.
Senior privilege. Give me an example of a senior privilege.
We get to dress down this week.
Sounds like a great privilege. That would make Spencer Taylor really happy.
Yes, it would.
We have a caller on the line, Kevin from Carlstadt. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Kevin, you have a question for Matt DiChiera. Go ahead.
Can I get a copy of your notes?
Kevin, do your own homework. Your boss next year at Exxon's not going to like that very much.
Whatever.
Kev, what's your backup plan?
I'll just go to Bowdoin and get some notes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, caller. Wow, you really support your classmates.
Yes, I support Kevin.
Matt D, what does EMT stand for?
Emergency medical training.
And that's
And
something.
also empty-minded twit.
Wow, they don't work together, do they? Because interesting. How long you been doing EMT?
Well, EMS, I'm taking EMT in June, and I've been doing EMS since like last August.
Wow, that's impressive. That is impressive. What advice do you have for the class of 2008?
The class of 2008, my advice for you is hope you all do well and yeah, pass your exams.
You know what? Makes a lot of sense to me, Matt. Finally, Mr. DiChiera with the 2 capital letters on the last name. Look at that camera and
Hello,
say
camera.
thank you to whoever you would like to thank.
I'd like to thank my mom, my friends, my family, and my girlfriend Tara, and Mr. Cap.
I'll make sure Mr. Cap gets that message. Matt DiChiera, thank you for your time. This next guest stands tall in a world of men, a school of men, and a household of men. She gives the roar to I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. I'd like to welcome Wayne's own Libby Wagner. Welcome, Miss Wagner. Very well, thank you. Let's start with Wayne. What can you tell me about the town of Wayne?
Well, first of all, I'm there, which is all that matters. And they also have the best bagels.
Wagner and bagels. What a great town. Libby, let's talk a little bit about Craig. What can you share about Craig?
Well, I've been here for ever, since 3rd grade. It's like a family. And one of the best things that happened is I met Charlie Southern, who's by far the coolest person ever.
There's a shout out to Charlie Southern. We have a call in. Caller, can you hear us?
Yes.
Who do we have on the line?
Marsha Brady?
Marsha Brady. What would you like to say to Libby Wagner?
Libby, you're my hero. I only have to deal with 3 brothers, and you have to deal with 4. How do you handle your brothers?
How do I handle them? Pretty much I just beat them down.
Physical violence seems to be Miss Wagner's solution. Any other questions, Miss Brady?
Yes. Have you ever broken your nose with a football?
No, but when I was in 2nd grade, my brother hit me in the eye with a baseball bat.
Ouch. Ouch. Thank you, caller. I think we have another caller on the line. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes.
Who do we have on the line?
Jan Brady.
Jan Brady, what do you have to say?
Marsha, Marsha, Marsha.
Thank you, Jan. The whole family's calling in. We better keep moving before Peter and Bobby call in. Ms. Wagner, advice for the class of 2008.
My advice for the class of 2008 is get all your college stuff done early so you can enjoy your senior year.
Very solid advice. Last part, Ms. Wagner. Look at that camera. It is yours. Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank my mom, my dad, my 4 brothers, my grandma, and all my relatives, and everyone here at Craig.
Ms. Wagner, it has been a pleasure. From the city of Motown, not Detroit, but Morristown, New Jersey. He's a true artist and can turn 2 Snapples into a payday. Let's welcome Mr. Eric Greer. Mr. Greer, welcome.
Hello, it's nice to be with you today.
Mr. Greer, tell me about Morristown.
Well, it's a really nice town. There's a lot of restaurants. They just knocked down Epstein, but that's
Did you shop at Epstein's?
No, I just went to the candy store.
Mr. Greer, let's talk a little bit about Craig. What can you share with me about Craig?
Well, it's a nice school. It has good teachers. Some better than others.
Ouch.
And,
How long you been with Craig?
well, upper school I've been here for 4 years, and the lower school I've been with 3 years.
We have a caller. This is our farthest call away we've ever received. This call is from Japan. Japan, are you on the line?
Hello.
What can we do for you?
I'd like to speak to Eric Greer.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, You steal my work. I find you.
Thank you, caller.
I find you.
Thank you, caller. Mr. Greer, what is that all about?
I don't know. People be stealing my ideas.
Japanese anime. Sounds like a very dangerous field to get into. Mr. Greer, can you share advice for the class of 2008? What would you tell them?
Let's see. Be good to your teachers, or else they may screw you over.
Ouch.
And
Mr. Greer, I think that says it all. Last part, that camera is yours. Look into it. Thank whoever you would like to thank, Mr. Greer.
I'd like to thank my mother, my father, which I know you won't be seeing this right now, and my grandma, my aunt, my uncle, and my cousin.
Mr. Greer, it's been a pleasure. We'll make sure Dad gets a copy. Thank you very much. This student's arrival at Craig necessitated height restriction signs and warning overpass signs. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Matt Bowden from Glen Ridge. Matt, welcome. How are you?
That's pretty good, man.
I'm doing good. Thank you. Matt, let's start with Glen Ridge. Tell me about the town of Glen Ridge. What can you share with me?
Well, Glen Ridge is a small town. A lot of people are very close, and it's close to Bloomfield and Montclair, so you can get any Italian food anywhere, you know. The good food, you know. My grandmother comes over, cooks the good Italian food for dinner, you know.
Sounds like an Italian mecca.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Craig. Share with me some insights into Craig.
It's a good school. We always have a good time. We get, we learn the stuff that we need to learn to get on. And the teachers are very good, and the principal's good, you know.
Mr. Bowden, we have a caller on the line. Caller, can you hear us? Caller.
Hey, yo, it's Vinny. I got a question for you.
Hey, yo, Vinny.
Vinny, go ahead with your question.
I got some big ZD out here. It's getting cold. I want to know what time you're getting out of school.
I'm getting out the normal time, 3 o'clock like always. We'll have some Anisette with that Big Z, yeah?
Who is this Vinny guy?
This is my driver right here. I've known him for about 2 years now. He's been driving me, so he's a good guy. His name is Vinny Shibanasso.
He seems to be watching out for you and your ZD. Thank you, Vinny, for the call-in. Mr. Bowden, advice for the class of 2008. What can you share with them?
Basically, they got to keep it real, you know? Do good on tests, study for your homework, do everything, do your homework, you know, don't get too many absences, and basically finish the year strong, you know, get it the good grades possible and get into a good college, you know?
I don't know what keeping it real is, but I like it. Like you look right at this camera there, Mr. Bowden. I want you to thank anyone you'd like to thank. Go ahead. This time is yours.
I'd like to thank God. I'd like to thank my grandmother. I'd like to thank my grandfather and my whole family for making this possible. And I'd like to thank Mr. Cap, of course.
Well, I don't know if I agree with the order of the thanks, but I do appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Bowden, for your time.
Have a good one.
All right, our next guest defines air conditioning in the style of his pants. Let's welcome Ridgewood's own Spencer Taylor. Spencer, how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Tell me about your town of Ridgewood.
It's nice. A lot of girls there.
A lot of girls there. Enough reason to move there. Let's talk a little bit about Craig's school. What can you tell me about Craig's school?
I guess it's alright, except for the dress code.
Dress code is tough, huh, Spence? We can tell the way you're dressed right now that it must be a pretty easy dress code. How many years were you at Craig?
Can't remember.
Can't remember, huh?
It's been a long time.
A long time. Well, we'll take that. We have a call-in for you. I would like to apologize to my audience. We had some technical difficulties. The caller on the line is not Mrs. Moss. The caller on the line. Caller, do we have you?
Hello. Yes, this is John Bon Jovi. I have a question for Spencer. Why did you take my pants? I made them famous, and you make them dirty.
Spencer, what do you got to say to Bon Jovi about those pants?
I actually made them more famous because there are more holes in the pants.
Listen, I gotta know, how do you make all those holes? Do they just happen? Are they coordinated?
I don't really know. I'm guessing it's just a talent.
It's just a talent. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Bon Jovi, for taking time from your busy schedule. Spencer, advice for the class of 2008.
Don't follow dress code.
Don't follow dress code. Leading the rebellious call. I might have to edit that one out. Last thing, Spence, look at the camera And who would you like to thank?
I would like to thank my mom and dad, although they're harsh on me sometimes, but I thank them.
Spencer Taylor, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello. Direct from the city of Newark, with the #1 selling CD at the Craig Upper School entitled Midnight Madness, which is much later than I stay up. I'd like to introduce Maurice Hill. Maurice, welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing very well.
All right, let's start with Newark. Tell me about Newark.
Well, Newark is an okay town. We have a lot of places to shop and everything. The Bears Stadium, which the Bears has been successful. NJ Pack, which is a great performance center.
Let me ask you a question. Would a guy like me be safe in Newark?
No.
It's the glasses. It's the glasses, isn't it? All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Craig. What can you tell me about Craig?
I had a lot of experience with Craig. Craig been good since I got here. When I first was going to Craig, I didn't think I would like it because of the building, the picture of the building. My mother sat me down and was like, this is the school that you're going to go to. And I seen it. I'm like, the school has a big cross on the top of it. Like, I'm not going to a Catholic school and I'm not wearing a uniform. We in the car riding here. I'm not going to a Catholic school and I'm not wearing a uniform. We in the school. I'm not going to Catholic school and I'm not wearing a uniform. But in September, I came here and I had a lot of fun and had a great experience in here. Because Craig, it's like a family. Like, everybody is together. There's no real problems and everything. It's a great school, and I wouldn't want to change coming here.
Sounds good, Mr. Hill. We have a caller on the line. Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can we hear him?
Yeah,
Yes,
I can hear
caller.
you.
Go ahead, caller. Who do we have on the line?
Yeah, this is Matthew Fowler.
Matthew Froner.
Yes, it is. I got a question for Maurice Hill.
Yes, what's your question?
I was thinking about getting into the music business, right? And I was wondering how you went about doing that.
Mr. Hill?
I would say you shouldn't do it.
Why
Okay.
is that?
Because you have no talent. I seen you. You're my best friend. I see everything that you do. You really have no talent, so you shouldn't really get into the music.
No.
All right, Mr. Hill, besides talent aside, the
I
talent...
can freestyle and everything now.
Mr. Froner, let's talk about the process. Mr. Hill, what was your process? If Mr. Froner decided to follow your process minus the talent.
Okay, what I say is get a lot of people around you that support you. So that'll help you be more creative.
Will you support me?
No.
Answer is no. Thank you for the call, Mr. Froner.
Thank you.
Mr. Hill, advice for the class of 2008.
My advice for the class of 2008 would be don't battle your teachers, even if you know you're right.
Did you learn that from experience, Mr. Hill?
Yes, I learned that from a lot of experience.
Look at that camera, Mr. Hill. This time is yours. Thank whoever you would like to thank.
I would like to thank my mom because she supported me in everything that I ever did, my whole family, the music industry itself. I would like to thank Craig, and I would like to thank Mr. Cap.
Mr. Hill, it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much. My next guest is from Chester, drives a GTI, and believes the initials HW don't stand for homework, but stand for Hot Wheels. I want to introduce Matt Froner. Matt Froner, welcome. Welcome to the Cappy King Show.
Nice to be on the show.
Let's start with the town of Chester. Tell me about your town.
It's a rather small town, not too many people, everyone knows each other.
Why would I move there?
Why? Because I'm there.
Because the Froners are there?
Yeah. Phoners are the best part of Chester. That and Bill's Luncheonette.
Bill's Luncheonette and the Froners. You get both of them, you got the best of Chester. Let's talk about Craig, Mr. Froner. What can you share with me about Craig?
Craig? Small school.
Small school like your town, okay. What makes Craig so great?
The teachers and the atmosphere.
Teachers and atmosphere. Very well put. We have a caller on the line. Caller, can you hear me?
Hey, this is Doug Robbins, former student council president of class of 2006. I have a question for Matthew Froner.
Sure. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go.
Yeah, thank you. I was wondering with the the class of 2007 has achieved. I'm sure it's not as much as we did.
The class of 2007 achieved much more than the class of 2006.
Mr. Froner, share some examples with Mr. Robbins, who was the class president from 2006. What has 2000 accomplished this year?
The Senior Deli, which is a new lunch program we started, and the softball team, which has been a great success. We've actually even won a game, and the fact that we're just better than you.
Wow. Mr. Robbins, are you impressed with the accomplishments of 2007?
Not really, but they did do some good things.
They certainly did. Of course, the 2006 class is a special class, but 2007 special in their own rights. Mr. Robbins, thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule.
No problem. And I congratulate class of 2007, but class of 2006 still woo!
Thank you. We're hanging up on you, Mr. Robbins. Thank you for your time. What an interesting call.
Yeah.
Mr. Froner, back to you. Advice for the class of 2008.
Advice for the class of 2008. Don't get sanctioned for 3 periods in a row. That's first off, because that'll kill you. But other than that, do your homework, stay on top of everything.
In summary, avoid Simpson, do your homework. Mr. Froner, I would like you to look directly at that camera, and this time is yours to thank anyone you would like to, please.
I'd like to thank my mom, my family, Mr.
Cappy King.
Cappy King. That's it.
Well, Mr. Froner, it has been a nice trip with you. It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
A colorful collection of characters indeed. They're comparable to a group of Sharpies, leaving their permanent mark on the Craig School, with no chance of ever truly erasing what they have accomplished over the last 4 years. I hope you've enjoyed the class of 2007 as much as I have enjoyed being a part of their lives. To the class of 2007, I wish you both a goodbye and a welcome. Goodbye to Craig Upper, and welcome to the rest of your lives. Good luck to you. Coming up next spring, the class of 2008 interviews. Can they fill the shoes of the class of 2007? Only time will tell. Thank you and good night.